Hey everyone, I'm Desiree Tyree. I'm a CPA and accounting strategist for gym owners. Thank you for joining me today and happy Friday. Today we will be talking about the cost and benefits or tax deductions related to employee benefits and deductions. All right, so let's get started. I'll try to roll this up in about 15 or 20 minutes or so. All right, so first we're going to start off with the cost of hiring new employees. So if you've never thought about it, there are a lot of costs to hiring new employees. We have recruitment costs, the whole interview process, the time spent on that, how much time, how many hours, what's your time worth, how many hours are you spending actually trying to get new employees, onboarding costs, orientation, administrative setup, that's more hours, more time spent recruiting new employees when you could be dealing with your members or doing other things in your business. Training costs, salary and benefits, because there is a potential for increasing rates when you hire somebody. Lost productivity. Again, this goes back to the time that you are spending trying to get these new hires to full productivity. It's just time spent where you could be managing your business better or getting new members or promoting customer service. And to me, the one that really has the biggest impact on gym owners is customer service impact, which is the adjustments in service quality or the inability to provide consistent service. So when you lose those your employees that have been helping in your business, what impact does that have on your members when they see nobody's at the front desk or when they don't have somebody to help them? It's just really inconsistent, and some people will leave your gym just because you don't have the employees to help them or train them on how to use equipment or things of that nature. So I think one of the biggest impacts for gym owners is customer service, along with all of these other monetary costs. But the monetary cost of customer service, it can't be measured. So I'm not an HR professional, so I can't really talk about all of this stuff as far as working with your employees, but there are definitely benefits of offering incentives to your employees. Of course, you have increased motivation because people are encouraged to reach their team goals, improved retention because they have those benefits in place. People want to work there and people don't want to leave. You can attract better talent because people know they have those benefits there. You have a better team. People want to stay longer and they want to work for you. Enhance customer satisfaction. And these are all just built you because you're offering these benefits and incentives. So all of these benefits are all just derivatives of you hiring employees, offering these benefits to them, and they're wanting to stay there because they know that they have a 401k or health insurance, or you are paying for their certifications or training for them to reach their goals and do better with their life. So now let's talk about some deductible business expenses and benefits and credits that you can offer your employees. As you know, most of the costs related to your business are going to be deductible. So costs for employee training and professional development are some small benefits that you can offer your employees. A lot of them are there to get certifications or they want to learn more. So definitely you can offer these benefits as something that you don't have to go outside as far as getting health insurance and 401k, which we'll talk about in a minute. But courses and certifications, those are some benefits that you can definitely offer your employees, and them knowing that you want to invest into them to make them better makes them want to stay. And also health insurance premiums, contributions to retirement plans, life insurance, and wellness programs. So let's talk about some more business credits that you may be familiar with. So we have the employee retention credit, which has been in the news a lot lately because there are numerous fraudulent claims related to it. And so processing of these claims has slowed down, and plus this was 2-3 years ago. So it's not as popular, but you can still claim this credit, and it's equal to 50% of the qualified wages paid to employees for most, which I would assume would be most gym owners. The credit amount for 2021 is 70% of the qualified wages up to $10,000 per employee. And there are still processing claims, although it's very slow. So you can still apply for 2021 Q2, 2021 Q3, and 2021 Q4. And these applications are available up until January of 2025. So you still have the ability to process these claims, I would assume most of you gym owners who had employees during this time will qualify for this credit. So if you haven't already, you still have time to get this credit. And there's also the sick and family leave credit, which is related to the employee retention credit. And this is for self-employed individuals who worked from home. So even if you were you didn't have your gym yet, maybe you were doing some online training, or I would imagine a few of you were doing in-home training or outside training or doing things outside of the gym because some gyms had to close down. So if this does apply to you, you can still get the sick and family leave credit, which is very familiar to the ERC, but it was just for self-employed owners. And you can claim this credit for 2020 and 2021 if you file an amended return. The statute of limitations for that is 3 years from the original date that your tax return is filed, or 2 years from the date the tax was paid, whichever is later. So next we'll go to the work opportunity tax credit. So this is a tax credit that's available for employers who hire certain individuals. So the targeted groups here are long-term unemployed, members of families receiving TANF, or temporary assistance for needy families, SNAP benefits, designated community residents. And designated community residents are those communities where the IRS or HUD has deemed that maybe they're like low income communities. So hiring people from these communities will qualify you here. Vocational rehabilitation referrals, which is usually physical and mental disabilities, ex-felons, Social Security recipients, some youth employees, certain qualified veterans, and certain qualified long-term unemployment recipients. And this is a great credit. If you haven't seen this when you applied for a job, or if you are not having your employees sign this form, this is something that you really want to look into. The credit can be up to $9,600 per employee, depending on the group and how it's worked. And as most credits and deductions work with the IRS, these are all incentives for you to do things. So this is an incentive for you to hire these groups that aren't normally hired or who aren't seeking out work. And so you will see that trend with all of these other tax credits and deductions that we talk about. These are just ways for the government to incentivize you to do things like get health insurance for your employees and start 401k programs so people have retirement when they get out of the workforce. So the next we will talk about the small business healthcare tax credit. And so this is one of those credits where they're trying to influence small business owners to offer health insurance to their employees, which we know can be very expensive. And so to get the small business healthcare tax credit, you have to have fewer than 25 full-time employees or full-time equivalent. So you can have part-time employees, and it can add to this number of hours that you need to have less than 25 full-time equivalent employees. Average annual wages have to be less than $56,000, and you have to pay at least 50% of the single coverage premiums. And it must be purchased through the shop marketplace, which is something that you should take note of. The max credit is up to 50% of the premiums paid, and this is only available for the first 2 consecutive years. So another good thing about getting the health insurance through the SHOP program is that a lot of the plans there are the high deductible plans that you need to open an HSA, which is a health savings account, is where you contribute money to an account that the employee can use for healthcare expenses. And this account grows, and they don't have to pay money or taxes on the investment earnings, and you don't have to pay payroll taxes on it. So you are saving on payroll tax in that regard. So the HSA combined with the health insurance through the shop can provide some great benefits and some great tax credits for you if you are wanting to offer your employees health insurance, and that's something to definitely look into. Next, we'll talk about retirement benefits. All right, so retirement is a huge thing. I know a lot of people, I would say most of America, does not have enough saved up for retirement. So the government is really trying to promote employers offering retirement benefits to their employees. So for the retirement credits, you need to have less than 100 employees with at least $5,000 of compensation. The credit is 50% of eligible starting costs, and eligible starting costs are expenses that are incurred to establish or administer the employee-sponsored plan. And then you have the auto enrollment credit, which is a new credit they introduced. So if you have them automatically enroll in the plan, then you are able to get a credit of $500 for 3 years. And of course, 401k contributions are tax deductible. Another honorable mention is the paid family medical leave credit and disabled access credit. So the paid family medical leave credit is 12.5% to 25% of the tax credit of the wages that you pay during leave. So if you do have an employee who has a baby, or they want to take care of the wife who has a baby, or they have to take care of a sick kid, and you want to offer them, you still want to pay them, which of course you do. You want your employees to stay. So this is a benefit that you want to offer them. So you get a credit for offering, for paying them for that time. So don't forget that if you have paid someone during this paid family medical leave, you can get this credit for that. And then you have the disabled access credit. There are a lot of benefits of hiring disabled workers, and this is a physical and mental disability. So as we spoke about earlier, the work opportunity tax credit is available for wages paid to disabled individuals. And so if you need to make any modifications to your gym, as far as widening doors, or maybe making the bathroom, restroom, locker room more accessible, then you can get this credit for making those expenditures. And you also have the architectural barrier removal tax deduction, which is very similar. They apply to the same types of expenses. However, you can use them in conjunction. So this is sort of limited to $5,000, and you get an additional $15,000 for this credit, for this deduction. So if you do hire somebody who is disabled and you need to make modifications, you have these credits and deductions available. And it also gives you, if you want to get into this market where 15% of the population is disabled, if you want to get into this market of dealing with disabled individuals and giving them access to your equipment, which is a big thing, it's not really just widening doors, it's giving them the actual equipment that they can use to work. You can get into this niche if it's in your community. This is a highly untapped niche that I would encourage anyone to get into. So think about hiring more disabled workers for customer service purposes, offering them those benefits, and then maybe giving more access to your gym and getting that equipment for these individuals to work in your gym, and it will open up new doors for you. I think that's all I have. Check for questions. I don't think I have any, but if you have any questions, feel free to follow up with me or leave me a message or DM. If you have any topics that you want to talk about, you can reach me at Desiree Tyree CPA. And I will catch you next week. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend.